You know, Jody, I know you spend a lot of time out in nature. I know you do spirit walks, and tell me more about that and why you do it.
Well, like I've said to you, we live in such a fast-paced world, and it's so easy to get like caught up in that gigabyte, real fast speed, everyday world. You feel that stress. I sometimes feel like I'm not making the right decision, or I just realize that maybe I haven't been outside enough, and so I utilize this the what I would call a spirit walk, which is a way of going and actually being in nature. And I'm fortunate that that I live in a place where nature is not very far from my door. And when I say nature, I'm not necessarily talking about a park in a city, although if that's the closest thing you have to nature, it's certainly something you can utilize. But in my experience, I really like to be out where there aren't cars and there aren't lights and there aren't city noises or people noises, so that when I start a spirit walk, I make an offering, and oftentimes I have an intent, like, why am I there? Am I trying to de-stress, or am I trying to wrestle with a problem, or do I just need some downtime, or am I just wanting to absorb what it is that the animate world out there has to say to me? And that's pretty foreign for a lot of people. They don't really understand what do I mean when I say animate world. And what I mean is that for many, many centuries, we've believed that rocks are not alive, that they don't have any sentient, they're not sentient beings of any kind. And so when I go out into nature, I am really walking with what I would call a reverent participation. I'm walking to hear, is there a tree that has something to say, or a leaf, or a rock wall, or the sky? Is there a rock that's calling me to sit down and actually be quiet and listen to the wind, or watch the clouds move in the sky and try to quiet what's in my head, so that it is like the chatter in my head isn't drowning out what potentially could come through. And so this is a way in which people can actually begin to decompress from what Sharon Blackie calls the wasteland, the machines and the Western culture trying to just gobble it all up. And by going out into nature, you're able to be calm and find a place in nature that can restore you, rejuvenate you. And at the same time, nature is loving it because there is this two-way conversation happening, even though it's not happening like you and I are having this conversation. But there is a conversation when you are able to be reverent, you are able to be present to your surroundings. So that is the value. Because oftentimes after taking a spirit walk, which I can tell you can last anywhere from 20 minutes to 4 hours for me, if I feel led to keep walking, I just keep walking. And if I've set a particular intent, then I don't really stop the walking or the conversation with nature until I feel like I've reached a stopping point. And then I'll turn around and come home.